Alright, and I just wanted to show you a tip there. It's a chef tip. It's a technique actually, you know. I showed you earlier how to sear things like a chicken. And the way we do that is a big pan, we heat it up real high, and then when it reaches a very high temperature, we're talking about 450, 500 degrees, then we can go ahead and put a little bit of fat, put the chicken and goes psh. That's searing. The problem with searing is that even though it gives a lot of taste, is that you're still cooking with fat. And there's a cooking method that allows you to cook with no fat at all, and that's steaming. Steaming is fantastic, you know, it's used in many different countries, you know. We use it in France quite a lot to steam things, you know. They use it in China, and as a matter of fact, you know, our host here in this kitchen in Tampa, Florida is actually Chinese, and here is what Audrey has. A little bamboo steamer like that, and this is the way it works, right? There's boiling water underneath, and there's this slotted tray that are put together with a lid on the top, and the steam is going to go on the top and actually stays in it, and the heat of the steam and the moisture is going to cook things like vegetables and fish and shrimp and dumplings just beautifully. This is a Chinese bamboo steamer. You can also get this, and the bottom line is that you need to have at the bottom of the pan, you need to have some boiling water, and that's great because you can constantly have a steamer with boiling water in there, and that's just going to create steam. And the point of the cooking method, steaming, is to actually harness that steam and keep it inside in such a way that when you take the lid off, the steam is releasing, but if you keep the lid on, the steam is inside, and that's a great way of cooking things. You can actually have several of those and actually stack them in such a way that you have different level, and you can cook your vegetables at the bottom and your fish on the top, or vice versa, and then you can stack it up for 4 or 5 other story if you want, and have some other things cooking in it. Okay, so I wanted to show you things. This is a great way to cook vegetables with no fat at all. All you have to do is to dump broccoli or zucchini or squash or carrots or peas or any vegetables you want, because this is not a recipe, this is a technique. And the cool thing with technique is that once you know how to do it with one thing, in this case the broccoli, guess what? You know how to do it with every single ingredient, and that's a good thing. The broccoli is steaming right now. We're going to stop, we can put the lid on and capture the steam inside there. Something else that you can steam is kale. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dump the kale right there in the steamer. Okay, and something else that works very well is fish, like salmon. I have these beautiful pieces of salmon that I'm just going to lay in there, right there. I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm just going to forget about it. Alright, so we're back in the kitchen by the steamer, and now I can tell that it's pretty much cooked. How do I know that? I can feel it like this, okay? The thing is this. Vegetables, they tell you when they're cooked. You can eat broccoli raw, right? Uncooked. So it doesn't matter if it's a little undercooked, you're just gonna be fine. So remember, we have this steamer, the water is boiling, capturing the steam. We have the broccoli on the first level there, and I put the salmon and the kale on the other one. And the point is this, we are cooking things, anything. Could be something else than broccoli or something else than salmon. Could be cod and squash and carrots and spinach, okay? It doesn't matter. But what matters is that this is gonna cook with no fat at all whatsoever. Something else that is important. The taste remains in the ingredients there because you're not cooking it in water. It doesn't leach out in the water and then you throw the water away and you're wondering where your nutrients and taste and color went. Look at this. Look at the color of this. This has stayed in the steamer maybe, what, Coach Chris? Maybe like 4 or 5 minutes maybe?
At least.
All right, so this is cooked, I know it is. And if it's a little undercooked, it's okay also. As long as it's bright green like that, that's what we want. We want some color in the cooking, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and remember for plating, little tip for plating, we wanna make sure we have large white plate like this one. So we frame the food, we make sure that the food is in the middle, it looks much better that way. Now very carefully, I'm gonna try to grab that piece of salmon right there, you know. It is cooked, I can tell. Beautiful. All right, and if you can see here, I don't know if you can see that, you know, but you see the way it's cooked right there, right? There's a piece in the middle that is a little bit darker than the rest, and that's great. My fish was super fresh, and now it's cooked but barely cooked. It means that all the water is still in it, the moisture is still in it, and that's something that we want, right? So the salmon is cooked to perfection. The broccoli is going to be nice and crunchy, colorful, full of nutrients, and all I have to do is to put a little kale on the top. A little garnish if we want to make it look pretty. And look at this, we have an easy dish that cooked in literally 5 minutes. Take us 30 seconds to plate completely from A to Z. That is completely nutritious with no fat, a lot of proteins, a lot of vitamins. That's what we want, Coach Chris, right?
Protein, vitamins, done.
We done?
That's it, baby.
Let's do it.
All right, good job.